Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting episode of Chakde Frontend Interviews. So till now we have seen the interviews around the JavaScript, React, and multiple of those. This is another interview on React. So we have a special guest with us who is Hassam from Pakistan, and we are going to have a very interesting discussion, very interesting problem statement, which is one of the most popular interview question in case of the front end. So before we move ahead, please hit like and let us know how you are actually feeling, right? So what are your expectations? What kind of questions you want to be covered in this particular round? So do share in the comment. So with that, keep watching till the end because we are going to start with a very fundamental thing. We are going to enhance the complexity of the problem statement as we go in the interview round, right? So without wasting further time, so let me call Hassam. Hey Hassam, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
So are you excited about today's interview?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, nice. So today we are going to do a cross-border interview. So I think people are going to love it. What about you?
Exactly. I'm just also very excited about this interview.
Awesome. So before we move ahead, let's why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Hassam and I'm from Pakistan, and I have a basically a React experience around it, basically a 3+ years as an industrial experience. So I just basically I joined basically a mock interview of basically a Chirag. So that's all.
Yeah, great. Let's do something interesting together. So what we are going to build? We are going to build a file manager kind of a thing. So what does it mean? Try to look into the last URL that you have. Try to open that in new link. So we are going to build something like file manager that we see in the VS Code or any of those ID editor.
Yeah.
What it has? Simple thing. So it has few folders. It can have few files. It can have a small hierarchy where folder can contain some files also. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
If needed, we will have a toggle kind of a thing. Then, if needed, we will see if we wanted to add a functionality where you can edit or basically add or delete something. We'll see, right?
Mm.
Right now, the intent is only to get the file manager where you have nested hierarchy. You can toggle between these. That's all.
Yeah. I am assuming that these are the physically a folders array.
Okay.
Folder one, folder two. Folders can contains. So basically, I have just a question. Basically, see how can I basically manage? How can I assume basically how many folders and the files?
Oh, okay. So right now there is no as such limit, but you can consider like it can be 10 files within a folder. Like it shouldn't matter to you, right? So we can
Yeah.
always talk about the performance, but right now in case of rendering and having those, you can say structure. Let's go with any number. How does it matter?
Okay. So let I say that object uh, folder one has a multiple uh, folder one and nested folder.
Mhm.
So it also has some basically number of files.
Okay.
Uh, file one,
Mhm.
type of mistake, file two. If this is an array, so it will be all of the files, and uh, folder has some basically a nested folder or a basically a files. File three basically, and a file four.
Okay. So like
Uh,
things.
folder one.
Folder and files. I didn't get like what you wanted to maintain in these two things.
Yes, exactly. So basically, all of the basically keys in the object are basically a folder names, and inside the basically inside the key, if there is basically a key with the basically a nested underscore basically a folder, so it is also basically a folder, and it has basically some basically a files. So this is also basically a folder, and it has basically some basically files.
Okay.
Uh,
So if you
right?
have to understand from the hierarchy, you have a folder one. Inside
Yeah.
that, you have file one and file two. These are two folders.
No. Actually, it is just like basically
Yeah.
folder basically a one.
Yeah.
It has a nested basically a folder.
Oh, it's a name. Nested folder is a name. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Go
And it
ahead.
has a basically a files. You
Now
can say that.
getting to this, yeah, it has files. What are the file name?
Yes.
It has
Yeah.
file one
Basically
and file two. Okay.
file two, and in the same basically hierarchy, it has a basically a files a folder. If I'm not wrong.
Oh, so basically you're saying, oh, there is a folder called files.
Uh, yes. I just need to basically change the name of the, and it is just like basically a file for.
Oh, if I understand correctly,
Uh,
your folder one is a folder, nested folder is a folder, then you have a files
yes.
in a folder.
Yes. And let me change folder 3.
Okay, so you have these folders basically, and inside that you have files. Got it.
Yes. Folder 2 and folder 3.
Okay.
All
What if
right.
I have a file directly in folder one as well?
Yes. Yes. So it uh, you can say that folder 1, and yes, if there are basically a files, I can say that it upper file, you can say that, and upper file 2.
Okay, so that will be inside folder one itself.
So yes, exactly. So if there is a basically a key names of basically a file, so it will be a basically a files. So you can say that in this hierarchy there is an upper file and upper file 2. All right.
Okay, so what if I wanted to keep change the name of these folders? How do I change it? Change the key. That's how you wanted to maintain that data.
Yes. So basically we will extract the basically a keys which name start as basically a folder. So if you have all of the keys basically that starts from the folder, so you can edit it. So you can basically edit the keys and put it into the new objects, into the
And
basically a new
when you
basically
say all
structure.
the keys are folder, then ideally files is
Yes.
also a folder. You have folder 2, 3, and files, which is also a key.
No. Actually, these are simple just files. If there is a folder, it has a basically a folder, basically a suffix, and basically it can say that it is a basically a prefix.
Like it means I can have a folder. I can't have a folder name called files.
Mm, Exactly. That's also the
We
question.
can have in our VS Code we can write any name, right?
Yes. Exactly. So it has a folder and file. So it can be a name. Obviously, so you can say it is a basically a folder. It is a basically a file.
But in that case, how you're going to maintain in your data? Your data will be like how you are going to differentiate these contains files and this is a folder key.
Yes. I just basically assume that the basically a folder, basically a prefix donates a basically a folder, and if it is basically it is if it basically a files, so it will be basically a files. So another basically a difference is that if it is an array, so it means basically it means basically there are basically a files, and if it is an object, so it means it has basically a nested basically folder, right?
Okay, so I think the files that you wanted to create, those are inside folder one. I think that has to be rectified in your data. The files that you
No.
created, it should be inside folder
Yes.
one, isn't it? So
Yes,
for you,
exactly.
it is outside the folder one object. Do you wanted to keep it outside?
Yes, exactly. These are, these are,
Oh no,
yes.
I want it to be part of folder one.
Okay. So you can say that here. basically a files, and we can basically move it here.
Now the tricky part is now you have file some folder name which is folder of 2 3, and there is a file containing files.
Yes, yes, exactly,
What if
yes.
I wanted to give my folder name as in files, which is rename folder 2 to files? What will happen? Folder 2.
Rename to yes. So you can say that uh, folder basically files. So it will be renamed as basically a files.
How come? Like,
So I just say that it should be basically a prefix of folder.
do you wanted to hardcode keep a prefix somewhere at your level? That's what you are going to do.
Yeah. So I can say that uh,
Oh, got it. Got it. Whatever prefix
is
you wanted to have,
equal
let's
to
add it.
basically so you can say that underscore basically underscore folder.
Sure. So underscore folder and underscore files, basically something that you wanted to.
Yes, yes. So basically, if I basically achieve the basically, I mean, basically, a difference is that if there is an array, so it will be all of the basically files. If it is an object, and so it means this is an basically a nested basically a folder which has basically files and folders, right?
Okay.
These are the two main basically differences.
Okay. Now one more thing. So your folder one has it can have another folder. What about your folder three? It can't have another folder.
Yes, it has.
What
Uh,
file three is a file, not a folder. If I'm correct, right?
yes, yes, exactly,
We
exactly.
want a folder to be inside folder three.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see, you can say that it will be a basically a folder, and it has a basically a files. Uh, ABC. So folder 3 has basically a files of ABC,
And
and
if it has
the
a folder, we need a folder inside folder four. Say suppose.
yeah. So you can say that folder 4, it is basically an object. So it means that
So do you see some pattern being repeated over here?
yes.
Okay, let's move ahead. Let's using this. Maybe let's stick to this structure. If you feel this is good enough, move on. Maybe I have one question before you wanted to move on. What if I want a folder icon also? Go to the image which I have shared. So I wanted to have icon also with the folders and files where you will keep that information.
Yes.
Like we can go ahead with this current structure also, but the moment I will ask you to enhance it, then you have to go
Uh,
rewrite your entire logic. So that's the only thing.
so it would be so I just need to basically save an image path inside the object, but what about the files?
File can also
uh,
contain like different icons.
yes, exactly. Yeah, yes. So I think it would also be an object, basically a files. So if there is an object, so we can basically save a title and an image here. So I think it would be basically a nested objects, right?
Okay.
So basically, so we can basically differentiate simple from the files keyword. If there is basically a files keyword, so it has basically a files, and yeah, if it has a basically a prefix of underscore basically folder, so it will be basically a folder. So but that's all.
But where you keep the icon?
Yes. So for example, icon basically here. So folder has only basically a one icon, icon one,
Uh,
and it has basically a some basically a files. So you can say that basically a files, and it would be also be an object. So it has a basically sorry, it would be an array of objects. So basically icon one, and uh, and it has a basically title. You can say that ABC file.
got it. Sounds
So
fair.
it's basically
Let's keep this
similarly.
and move ahead. I got you. thought process. Let's go ahead.
Okay. So the folder structure is very complex. Uh, Let me just make a. So it will also be an array and it will also be an object. Files. Folder one has a may basically I take it as a simple. It will be I think a complex one.
It's okay. I think the one which is folder one we can take, and the other part we can remove it. The folder one and folder three is the structure is correct. Rest remove it.
So I just need to remove this.
Yeah, let's just stick to this structure. And I think in the folder one also you need some icon.
Yes, exactly. So basically, underscore basically a folder.
Yeah.
It has a I also confused. Folder one has a icon. It will be an array of basically a files and icon. Folder four. I think there should be a white and error happens.
Maybe you have folder one and two below. Just remove it. The other text that you have written below text. Folder one files.
Huh?
The normal text, the folder structure that you have created below. The normal text, not here. The line number 11.
Okay, okay, okay.
Comment this all. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I just need to make it key underscore folder. Yes, that's about.
Your folder one also need to have an icon, right? Which you don't have right now.
Yes, it should be have an icon.
Cool. So we are
ABC.
kind of aligned with the structure as of now. We are considering this
Yes.
will scale. Let's do it. Move ahead.
Uh, if I basically pick all of the keys from the here, uh, where the subject, it also. So it has uh, basically a folder one. Uh, Folder one has a basically a nested. It has a
Mhm.
icon, and it has a basically a folder three, and it has also not an icon.
It's okay.
Something is
We
missing.
understood the structure. It's just that now
Yes,
get into
yes,
the.
exactly. Okay, okay. I just make it again. For has an icon. So let me just complete it, and it has a basically files icon ABC. Yes, right.
Yeah.
So return what it has missing. Something like so I just need to pick up the so low basically notes why it has some error.
It will come in the preview. You can do the inspect element in the browser in order to see the errors. Yeah. Do a control plus maybe so that we can see.
Something like why it has yeah, some icon, icon and there is some missing basically a bracket. Yes, that's if I run this, what is the output?
Are you rendering something in the solution?
No, oh, sorry. Uh, so if I make a run, I just want to see where it is. What is the output? Uh,
You will be there is an error that needs to be fixed.
is that-
You have that.
yes. So it will be really a recurrent type. Yes, I assume that.
What you are
So
assuming, what it is going to be?
uh, uh, basically, it has basically a nested structure. So I think it will be resolved from a recurrent type. I think or
Recursion.
not.
Recursion you meant, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yep, we can do recursion. Let's start with something simple and then we can do recursion kind of logic as well. Start with something simple so that we have some outcome start coming as an the you can reduce the left panel, the left the above question panel.
So I can say that object of the keys of keys for a map as well to be an object. Uh, of a folder. It will be a folder again. It will be an folder forward and uh, uh, it is basically forward. But, if it is underscore, if it is underscore, if he has a prefix roots, so for each and folders. Uh, so I just need a little bit of help about basically how do I basically render uh, these all sort of these things.
Uh, so what kind of help? So I can tell you if it is a child, have a small 5 pixel or 10 pixel from the left so that you can see the hierarchy in the right. So
Yes.
that is one you can do in order to differentiate your child. Now, if your question is how do I render one thing at a time, probably. Uh, so
Uh, So I have basically at this subject. So if I will basically pick up the key and basically check either it has an object, so it will be basically a folder, and inside it has also an basically a key and check either it is an object, so it has basically a folder.
Okay.
Again inside the key, inside the key either it will check if it is an object, so it will be basically a folder.
Can we take one thing at a time? What I meant by, can you render the first level thing, which is your folder one should be rendered? Can we at least start?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's we'll come to the hierarchy, but let's start with something basic, right?
Yeah. Sure. So just need to include the affix and uh, that is basically a folders dot push key, right? So if I can call it folders, so I think it is not here. Again, so folder. Yes. Here will be an option.
Okay. What is the problem that you are facing?
Yeah. So will be an empty array. So I just need to check it. What will be a key?
So you are creating a new folders and then you are pushing
Yes,
over there. Why?
because there are basically basically a multiple folders inside it.
Okay.
So basically that's why I'm
Ultimately, you need an array where you can basically render things, isn't it?
yes, exactly.
Can't you modify your structure itself, which can help you to achieve this? Right now, what you're doing, first you are keeping an object, then you are
Yes.
identifying it if it's an object or not. Based on that, you are
Yeah.
creating a new variable where you're keeping that data and getting into all of these mess.
Yeah. So basically, how can I change the structure? Yes, you're right. If it nested,
Okay, help me
just
with one thing. We say one is folder and one is file.
yes.
Based on that, you have to take some decision. Can't you add a small parameter saying that what type it is?
Yeah. Exactly. You're right. Right.
Can you simplify your
So
structure altogether by how does it matter? Either it is a file or folder.
yes.
Based
Yes.
on
Yes.
one thing, you
Exactly.
can take a decision, isn't it?
Yes. So it will be an array, and so it will be again in so basically you have I think it will basically not a basically a nested thing. So if folder basically one has this, so it will be an array of arrays.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Thinking in right direction. Let's go do it.
array, and yeah, so type name array folder one,
Mhm.
and type is a folder.
Okay.
Uh, so okay, so uh, basically,
If it is a folder, what it will have?
yes, yes. So if it is basically a folder, and uh, it is in this basically a same hierarchy. So in that basically hierarchy, if it is basically a file, so name file.
Oh,
No, no, no,
try to
no, no,
simplify
no, no.
it. Why you are making life complicated for yourself?
Yes,
If it is a folder, can it has
yeah.
children?
If it is basically a folder, yes, exactly. It has basically a children. Yes,
And
yes,
now
right.
our children can again, depending on it will be array of something. Array of
Yes,
what?
uh, array of array of basically array of files and folders.
Let's do it. The one which you created can be repeated. It's just that one of them can be a file. If it is a file, it won't have children, isn't it?
If it is a file, it has no basically children. If it is basically a folder, then again it has basically
Let's do it.
yes, yes, right. uh, Folder two, folder two, type uh, folder, and if it is basically if there are basically a children, it will be here
Let's
an
create
array.
D for now. Now it can have files as well, right?
Yes, so it will also have basically files. So basically array also has a name, basically a file one, and a type is a file, right?
Yeah. Now your life is
Yes,
becoming simple.
yes, exactly. You are making a nice structure. So array of objects, so it will be a name and the type. That
Now let's
become easy.
now let's render it.
Yes. Can say that. Okay. And so other one is a folders list, and structure. Make console out the structure for a better visibility. So if it has a name, structure dot a map uh, struct s s dot uh, s dot name s dot name. So it will be basically a uh, folder if dot type should be not a list. That's not really a folder one. So if it has a, may I basically create another a folder or no?
So let's create a two folder and one file at a root level.
Two folder and one file.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
So if
doesn't
it
need any
has a
change. It's okay. This folder won't have any
uh,
change.
okay, okay, folder two, and a type is a folder. So if it has a basically a type, yes. So all of the basically folders are here.
Render a file.
If I, yes, what about the basically files? So if it has basically a children, so I just need in the basically a children. Yes, if it has basically a folder, and then render it.
Or don't go to the nested level. First, sort out the root level. I have a file also in
Okay,
root.
okay, okay. So I just need to children is the array and file.
File at a root
Okay.
level. Root level.
Yes, yes. Okay, at the root level, yes, exactly. It has basically a children, and for example, if we ignore this object, so it will also be basically a file. Type is a file, and inside if basically a children. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
so hear me out, Hassam. What I'm saying
yes.
at a root level, which is folder one, folder two, at the same level, there is a file also. Create an object for a type file.
Okay, okay, okay. At the root level, folder one and the folder two. Yes.
So along with that, you
So
have a file
exactly.
as well.
So I just need to yeah, copy this. Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
give a file name, maybe something, file something. Yeah.
Yes.
So it should render this as well.
Yes. Okay. This is basically a folder two. Simple. Should be basically a simple.
Now, uh, can you differentiate
Yes.
based on some icon or something, either that is folder or file?
Yes.
Add some
If
prefix or something,
okay.
maybe plus.
Okay. Okay.
Add a plus in the.
Okay. Yes. So yes, exactly. So if it is a basically a type is a basically a folder plus sign. Otherwise, it will be a basically a negative sign.
Oh, that will be tricky because that stands for expansion, right?
Yeah.
So let's keep it maybe space. Don't give minus, give the space. Oh, don't give that minus for the file. Yeah, give a space, just a space. That's it. Cool. So we are getting folder and we have a file. Now
Yeah.
come to the point, let's nest it out, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do it.
Yes. So if it, I just need to it will be basically a name, and if there is a basically a children, has a name of file. Yes. So array element here. Plus sign. Wait a minute. So if uh, the element, so if I here if s dot basically children, so children. If
S dot children is a string or what?
an array,
What you have
it
written?
will be an array.
Is it a variable or a string?
Basically, a children.
Yeah,
It is an basically array of objects.
this is correct. What you have written below. So you are.
Yeah.
Do you see something getting printed out? Okay.
S dot. Yeah, so I will basically. Oh, sorry, it will be a string in the s dot children dot clear. Basically a map, and I just need to name it basically s dot name. Repeat this same thing. So if it has dot children also, okay, that's yes. Also, it has basically basically a file. So it will be uh will be-
So let's bring it to the new line and render in the structure of folder, right?
yes, yes. So so you can say that it will be onto a new line.
Oh, technical error. Oh, not on the go into the preview. Nothing is getting rendered. That's the only problem.
Right?
You see something missing on line number 24.
If fine.
It does not
So
render in the new line, by the way. We have to render as a
yeah,
we have to showcase in the hierarchy, right? Not in the same line.
yeah, yes, exactly. So inside this, uh, the li is just need uh, so I just need to remove this also. Not have and right or it has basically a folder. It has basically a file, and it will also become basically a folder. If
Okay.
s dot children s dot children this it will
Let's have some proper hierarchy, like move shift it a bit so that it looks like
yes.
this belongs.
Uh, uh, how to shift? I just need to recall that either to basically put
Some
a
CSS
tab space.
spaces maybe on
Uh,
the left hand side, right?
yes.
Or inline style will work for here.
Okay.
Inline
It,
class name.
inline style, really a style has an object, basically a margin, basically a padding left, 10 px, 50. Yes.
Consider we have this now. Can you go up in your structure? Inside your children, you have another item which is a folder.
Yes, yes, it has.
It doesn't have children. Let's add, not at that level. Inside the first folder one, you have a children where you have a single file. Along with that file, you have more folders.
Yes, along with the basically a file.
Not at that level.
Uh,
First one, the folder one. Folder one have a
yes,
children which is called file one.
yes,
We
exactly.
also have another folder.
Yes, there is basically a folder.
Got it. So you have a folder two, and inside that folder two, you have another folder.
Inside of folder two, I have another basically a for.
Folder.
Okay. Mm, name it as a folder 3, and basically type is a folder. Yes,
It has a again a children. Go back again.
yes,
Has a children.
again.
Again has a file. Now it has a file.
Now it has a basically a
Maybe file five or something that you want.
name it as a basically file 5 and type is equal to file. Done, done.
It does not render. Show on the UI. Where is your file five and folder three? Folder three is there, but
Yes,
there is a file five.
yes, file folder. So basically, a children has all of the things. It will be a basically uh, one time basically a nesting uh, file one. That's all. Folder two as a children will be has inside the structure basically where is it and find about it.
Oh, you want to
Yes,
get
yes,
about there
yes,
is a
yes,
file
yes,
five. Yeah.
yes, yes, exactly. I just find it
It's not getting
inside
rendered
the
on the UI.
yes inside the basically a folder two inside the folder two. If it has again a but it will be a node to basically create a nested type of object.
Yeah, it is still nested. Like, do you want it to
Yes,
manually again go and nest it?
yes, it will be again basically.
It can be any
So I
method.
just uh, I think it need yeah it is children.map external. So s dot basically a children it will be children dot map. Then
Okay, let me put in that way. Do you see anything getting repeated again and again?
yes, exactly. Yes,
What is that?
it will be and basically a children and inside a children. So it will
Only
basically
the
create a
children.
loop.
What is getting replicated again? Come, think again.
Yes, yes. Only a children will be repeated inside it again. If it has an array, and again it will become an array. So it will be a nested array.
Okay, come again. Go back into your code. Scroll back. Scroll a bit. Scroll a bit. Scroll a bit. Okay. So the li that you have created over here, do you think this entire li is getting repeated again and again and again in a nested
Yes,
fashion?
yes,
This entire li is getting repeated in some nested fashion.
yes,
Can you
exactly.
bring
So
that in a component and
yes,
leverage that component in a
yes, exactly. I'm also basically thinking about that. So if it has basically a children, it will again basically create a p tag. uh, basically with this style.
Do it.
Uh, so if it has basically a children, so it will basically be a call to this function map the childs by s dot children. Something like map and okay. Uh, so I'm basically confused about it. I have accessed this. I have accessed this, but if it is again and basically a children, so basically how I do it repeatedly here.
What? You have to call this within itself somewhere.
Uh,
First of all, before writing it, fix this, right? Why it is not rendering? Should render, right? You won't see in the test. You see in the console.
S is not different, right?
Okay. You have something render, right? Just that the
Yes.
level is not rendered. Let's try to write some logic over there that can call itself.
Uh, if it has a child, again call this function this child. Uh, before again, if children has some children has basically how do I how can I call it again?
Okay, help me with one simple thing. In your entire folder structure, where you have this folder name and something below that child, what are
Yeah.
the two things that you're actually rendering? So if you scroll down at line number 26, what are the two things that you actually need to render? Like maybe line number 30.
I'm render basically a folder, and if it has basically a child, so I can basically uh, render it here.
So basically you're rendering two things. One is the name of whatever it is, and if it has
Yes.
children, then
Yes.
repeat the job.
Then I'll repeat the job. So
Actually,
then
what you want to render
so
is your name. And for children, you are saying repeat the job.
yes.
Aren't you saying that?
So I think basically this will be repeated here.
Okay. How? Try to create a common component, try to repeat it. Let's see if you can do that.
Yes. Yes. Uh, uh, folders. So folder structure, it will basically a call it again. It's as it is.
Before you
Okay.
jump into that, at least get it working. Folder structure.
Yes. So it has a basically folder structure has a basically a structure. I have basically given it to you, and I just need to basically call it. Uh, it has basically child. So I just need to basically call it again folder structure. And a child, and I need to call it again folder structure with a child, if I'm not wrong.
Something did not work. What?
It's stored children, and if it uh, basically a children is also same thing like it has. So wait a minute, if it has basically a folder in this, okay, okay, okay. Li uh, folder, yes.
If it is a children, then you have to.
Yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yes. So if it is basically a folder,
Oh,
then
hold
basically
on.
perform these steps.
Hold on, Hassam. Do a control Z. Let me give you a hint. Do a
Okay.
control Z. Control Z. Again, control Z. Control Z. Okay. At this point, if it is a child, you are already iterating through all the child at line number 20.
Yes,
And at that moment where you are printing the name,
yes,
do you think
yes, exactly.
be called over here?
Yes,
When you're printing the name x dot name, something else need to be printed.
yes.
What is that? Or you wanted to remove the loop. Or you remove the loop. You're not reading the children now.
Oh, uh, from basically aware,
Go back.
basically here.
Go back to the same control Z. Here it once again. Every child you are iterating at this moment, right?
Yes, yes. Every basically a child has a
So
rating. So I just
you got
need
a
to
child. For that child, you have to repeat what logic? For every child inside
for
this,
every basically a child basically this will be repeated here
do it. Exactly that's what you have to do. For every child, why you
for
are removing
every.
the map? If you remove the map, you are not iterating through the child. Don't you think?
Yes,
Do you see something
yes,
working?
exactly. Yes. So for every basically a child, I just yes, I just repeat. So for every basically a child, it means here or I can here. Yes.
Do one thing. Add a
Now,
icon to any or to all the files and folder. Just add a maybe write edit or add a button where you are rendering them.
okay.
Add a button.
So like,
After the name, add a button.
okay. Yes. Uh, I can
Where did you have
no.
it?
So it will be basically
So with every, so just make it, maybe write edit, not icon. Just that add it, edit. Okay, and add another button which is called create
uh, uh, on the same level.
at same level. Now, if
Just
it is
need
a
to
folder, you should be able to create something over here. Add that logic where your create should be visible only to folders, not the files.
okay. Create will only be visible at the basically a
So
folder.
can you create a nested item to a file?
Uh,
You can you create
Read this,
another
please.
file within a file, or can you create a folder
No,
within a?
no,
No, you can't have
no.
this plus option, or you can say the create option, isn't it?
Yes. So basically, a create option basically uh, will be on the basically a folder a folder basically a level.
Let's do it. Basically, we are saying if it is a folder, then you have a create option. Perfect. Now
Yeah,
what we want? We want when I click on create,
yeah.
I should be able to. So forget about the form at this moment. Like we can always have a form, but I want a dummy file. Dummy file should be created inside that folder whenever I click on create. That's the problem statement that I have.
Okay.
So
On basically a click event
yeah,
on
dummy file within this particular folder should be created. That's the only expectation that I
op- add dummy file at the on that level. Add dummy file. Why it's not like it? Uh, children dot if I pass a children and it just need to is children dot uh, s need is s s dot get dot push. If it is there is a children, if there is a children, if not, so s dot children will do this s children dot push.
So if there is a
Uh,
children,
uh,
there is no children, then we don't want it to push.
okay, okay, that's great. So I just need to add a new object here. So name as a uh, dummy file and type. So I think s dot basically a children dot push, and it needs to be s dot wait a minute. Yes. So and So I just need to s dot basically a name, and s dot basically a children is equal to s dot.
Let's click on that and see if we
Yes,
are
yes, yes.
able to
S
add it.
dot name. Wait a minute. I just need to s dot name. Console. So where is the output?
It's not getting clicked.
Where is the console?
Yes. Console is correct, but the logic that you have written is incorrect. Line number
Yes,
31.
yes, yes. So I just need to s dot name
Oh,
dot
this
basically a
function is not
children.
getting clicked even.
Yeah.
Did you notice that function is not getting clicked even?
Yes.
Okay.
So if it is basically so s dot name dot basically children, so s dot name dot basically a children, and append to the new object here.
S dot name dot children.
Oh, no, no, all of the objects here. Uh, you can simple say that s dot children dot basically push. I
That is
think
what you have written earlier.
yes.
So do you want it to push on s dot name dot children? Is that correct?
S so s dot basically a children. Sorry, s dot children.
Let's hit.
Basically a structure dot basically a children. Yes, right. Sorry,
Let's try to hit create. Oh, nothing happened.
nothing happened. Okay, children.
Try
Uh,
printing console.log s dot children. Let's see.
dot dot.
Hit again create. You have something, but why
Yes,
it is not getting rendered?
uh, because I think basically the reference is not updated, so
Reference is
that's why.
updated. You see the name, dummy file and type file got added. You were having only
Yes,
one file one. Now you have dummy file and type got added.
yes, exactly. I did. So I just need to update s dot children. Wait a minute.
The structure got updated, man.
Yes, exactly.
Why it did not got
Structure.
rendered?
Uh,
That make a difference.
dot by this did not edit. Uh, s dot children. S dot children. Yes.
Okay, help me with one thing. React will re-render based on what? If what changes, React will re-render.
Uh, Basically, you can say that basically a reference
A
or
reference,
basically a value
a value.
values
What exactly changes inside React which triggers a re-render? What triggers the re-render in React?
change in the
Change in a state
state
or
change in change in the state or so it will be basically a use state. Uh, okay, yes, use state
are you going to create
structure.
user state outside?
No, from I just need to basically add it here. Sorry, structure.
Yeah.
Structure. Use structure. Use it. Is a basically very small mistake.
Let's see. It is a small mistake.
Use that structure. Here. So set structure. Set s dot children. Oh, only to do this dot push simply an object and set structure. It is not accessible.
Do you have access to structure first of all?
Just need to basically pass it.
Do it if you think that is going to work. Let's do it.
Yes. Structure.
So is it a structure function or what you're passing?
I just need to basically a set structure pass. Sorry. Uh, uh, Handle. Simple name it is. That's on the click event. So you just need to put structure. Structure.
So I will tell you where to click. Cool. So hold on. Expand this.
And what?
Expand the preview so that we can see the preview well. Okay. So click on the first folder one, create. Move.
Structure dot basically a map is not a function. Okay. So structures. Why structure dot? It has some initial state of array.
What is your S? When you're clicking on add, go to your button where you are actually adding it. Scroll up the logic where you have written to add a file, add dummy file. What is S over here?
Yes. S over here is a folder structure and is basically a structure.
Array, why are you changing over here? Make it back S.
Oh no, okay. No. Basically, a structure. Yes, back.
No, no.
Basically, a structure is a an basically array of objects. So it
Let
will be an
me rephrase it. Go back. Go back to the add dummy file. Over here, when you are iterating again, right? You have S. What is the data type of S?
uh, and basically object.
It's a
An object. It is an
object.
object.
Object. Scroll up. What?
Yes.
Scroll up. Scroll up. 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 Scroll up.
Okay. Up.
Scroll up. Go into add dummy file. What you are setting back in line number 23? Is it an array or object?
23 get is S is S is an object and it has basically a property of basically a children.
Is an
So
object.
S, yes,
What was
S is an object.
what was the initial value of data type of set structure? What was the previous data type of your structure?
Absolutely array.
Array of object. And now what you are setting?
Yes, object.
You get the mistake that you are doing?
S. Oh, S. Actually, children. S is the yes. Need to pass structure. So I need to pass here the basically a whole. Actually, I'm saying that S dot basically a children. Basically, it will update the array, and I just need to basically pass the updated basically a structure here.
Now you don't have access to the structure altogether. You are somewhere in nested hierarchy.
Yes.
Consider example if I ask you to click on create of a folder 3. Scroll down in the preview. If you are clicking on folder 3, what you will have?
Yeah.
From that onwards, you have a children. You don't know anything
Yes.
about your parent.
Yes.
Boom. Any
Uh,
solution?
yes. So I just basically I need to make a new array and set it here.
New array of what?
New array of objects
New array of
with
what
updated.
level? What level?
Yes. What level? S dot. Uh, yes, it is basically a nested, and I just need to update the only a child. Yes. Solid folder one. Basically a child. So S dot child.
Can be at any hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
Can be at any hierarchy, at any level. Cool,
Yes.
no worries on that. So I think Hassan, we are done with the kind of a question that I wanted to ask. Okay, first of all, how was your experience?
Uh, experience is very basically a good. I think I just need to improve basically some of the things. Uh, actually, at basically most of the interviews here, I just stuck between the basically a nested hierarchy, and unfortunately, you are also asked the same question. So I have already been stuck here. So actually, uh, I have been stuck in basically how the recursion basically works. So at the most of the interviews, whenever the interviewers basically asked me, basically do it implement through recursion. So I cannot it. I don't know why. I have basically I just saw a lot of videos, but I basically didn't understand how it will basically work out it. So unfortunately, you asked this basically same question.
No worries.
So
It's just a matter of visualization. But overall, I think not just the recursion, but before recursion, also you started with some folder structure, some assumption, and then
yeah,
define on top of it, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
cool. So, people who are watching, so what do you think? So, what? How was the interview? If you have some feedback, if you have to say, hey, either you have to select or reject the Hassam, right? So, do let me know. Considering that Hassam have around like 2 to 3 year approximate experience, so do give your rating based on that. So, with that, let me give few feedback, Hassam, over here, right? So
yeah,
the
sure.
thought process basically that you started with was good enough, right? Where you need some hand holding, where something has to be taught about, hey, think about the future use cases which will come, and then probably you will fall back. You are able to take work on that, and you are able to incorporate those changes. It's just that one thing which you mentioned in terms of the nested hierarchy, probably the recursion kind of a thing was a bit tricky for you, but again, I think with more practice you will be able to do that. The other thing which I want you to look into, the fundamentals. Like, we made very small mistakes where I was not supposed to give a hint. Was we took a
Yeah.
constant, it was not even a state variable, right? It comes
Yes.
with comes with cost. But overall, I am happy that you are able to take the hints and you are able to work upon that, right? That is something which
Yeah.
I generally look in the candidate. It's a good sign. But rest, I'm leaving on the audience basically to give their feedback. So, guys, if you like it, please like it, and I want you to implement this entire solution and share in the comment basically, and I will be happy to review this. So, try to implement more features on top of it, like a edit functionality and a delete functionality as well on top of it. With that, keep liking, keep sharing, and more video is coming on the platform. Cool. With that, see you again. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.